What's up, everyone? So, welcome to our weekly conjunction video. And today we are going to be covering the conjunction of Saturn and Venus and what happens when you have conjunction of Venus and Saturn in your horoscope, meaning Saturn and Venus are together in one house, okay? And as always, if you do not know, what kind of conjunctions you're having in your horoscope, what kind of conjunctions you have. If you have this conjunction, for that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, especially Conjunction at the Speed of Light, along with astrology and aspects of the speed of light, and my new magazine on destiny and careers, and all the other options here at this link. So, Saturn and Venus, what are they and what do they do together? Saturn represents fear and anxiety, slowness. It's discipline, organization, structure, reality of life. It is your boundaries that you have in front of you, which you must overcome in order to have an unlimited potential in your life. Because remember, Saturn is boundaries. But there's a reason why he has his boundaries. It's not to just keep you there for life. No, that's not his thing. He's just saying the moment you cross my boundaries through all the hurdles, sky's the limit for you. Once you're out of my realm, I don't care, you can go to 10,000 different other planets and I wouldn't really care. But as long as you're in my circle, as long as you're in my surrounding, you're going to have to play this chess game of mine that I've laid out. So that's what Saturn is. And Saturn is a very slow moving planet. It takes 2 to 2.5 years to transit from one house to the other, one sign to the other. Now, what is Venus? Venus is quite the opposite of Saturn. It's not as slow of a moving planet. Venus represents love and joy and the luxuries of life. It's how you form relationships in life. It's your ability to feel happy and good. It's all the conveniences that you have, whether it's your car, your boat, your motorcycle, or your pitching wedge in the backyard, so you can swing from time to time when you want to get a break from work. See, that's why I have this little backyard. I do my pitching wedge, even though that's the golf course right there. But that's what Venus is. Venus wants to make you feel creative, artistic, wants you to blossom, wants you to just experience the joy of life. Now, what happens when these two come together? Well, remember, conjunctions are really seen when they're between 12 degrees and under. That's when it really has its effect. Because it's like magnet. When you have the opposite poles around each other, when you get them very close, that's when they want to attract each other, right? If you have iron and a magnet this far, it's not really that much of an attraction. You get a little bit closer, more, and then boom. So this is why we really use this logic in astrology as well. That if your Saturn is at 29 degrees and Venus is at 1 degree, not much happening there. But if Venus is at 2 degrees, Saturn is at 14 degree, 13 degree, 12 degree, okay, we can still see it's a medium effect. But within 10 degree is where this full effect comes into play. So when Saturn and Venus are conjunct together, what this shows is that, first of all, when it comes to relationships, you kind of guard yourself, you guard your feelings. You're fearful of relationships. Because of the fact, growing up in your 20s, maybe even late 20s, you get yourself hurt so badly because you had that perfect woman in front of you and she just left. No reason, no nothing. The person that you thought who will be committed to you, so you guys going to get married, suddenly cheats on you. That's where this fear then builds up, like, oh my God, I cannot trust anyone. And this fear actually really starts from young age, because these conjunctions are operating since the moment you're born. So what happens is, from the young age, when you created relationships with people, whether it was your neighbor and your friends and the people you interacted with, somehow those relationships went bad. Somehow Saturn suddenly put his boundaries in front of you. That, oh, you're not going to get to play with this person, not anymore. Creates this fights, creates these anxiety and fear. Suddenly your friend now is coming after you, wanting to hit you physically, wanting to get you physically. All of these things are built up. So not only this, in your 20s, but it's building up from early on in age. So that's one of the most common things you'll see. And also, these people are very realistic in relationships. Because remember, Saturn represents responsibility. When you are in a relationship, Saturn gives you situations in relationship where suddenly you have to take the role of responsibility. Like, all right, you're going to have to go out there and make money for your family. You're going to have to go out there and take care of your spouse or take care of your husband or wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Suddenly you will feel the stress through your wife, through your, your spouse. But this doesn't mean this is going to be all the time. It's just that what Saturn is doing, okay? Here's the magic of Saturn. Saturn is saying at an early on when you're 20, because people who are in their 30s and mid-30s do not feel the same way because they know what Saturn has done. What Saturn and Venus conjunction does is that it shows you the reality of relationships. So that's what Saturn does. He simply tells you early on, he's trying to give you clues. Saturn, because remember, Saturn is a bigger planet than Venus. So Saturn will always hold the most say. Because you have to look at conjunction from logic as well. Which one is a bigger planet? Which one is a smaller planet? They will influence the other planet more because they have more power, more mass. So Saturn here will always give you clues from early on in age that be patient in relationships. Be more realistic about the world. Do not create this Bollywood movie with your girlfriend on the first date. Because you know what? That will turn out to be a Bollywood tragedy. And this is why when people, in their 20s and teens gets into relationship, they're head over heels because here Saturn is now screwing up with your head big time. He's giving you everything perfectly and boom, suddenly takes it away. Why? He's trying to tell you that this is the reality of life and relationships. Nothing lasts. Now, this is one side of this conjunction. The other side also is Saturn is what? Routine, repetitive work. Saturn is your ability to go out and work. See, Mars is this. Mars is giving me energy right now. Like, all right, I have the energy. What the hell do I do with this energy? Well, Saturn here says, okay, let's use your mechanical skills. These are my mechanical skills, right? So I'm here, I'm like pitching, and this motion, see, this motion that I do is Saturn. But my ability, the energy within is Mars. So if one doesn't have the other, then it's when you will see people either are not able to be great athletes, they're not able to do the work that they really want to because the support is not there. The energy might be there, but then just that ability to go out and do it is not there. So same thing happens here. Venus is what? Arts, creativity, cinema, just media, wanting to do creative artistic things. When Saturn is conjunct Venus, these are the people who take action and wanting to do something from early on in age. These are the people you will see. They're like, okay, well, I'm interested in movies. You'll hear a lot of your friends saying, you know what, I want to be a movie star. I want to be the next Shah Rukh Khan. I want to be the next Brad Pitt. But then you hear that over and over again every year, and next thing you know, they become insurance agents. What Saturn does here with Venus's conjunction, these are the people where next month he's calling you like, yeah, move to LA because I've thought that, I'm going to be going to a lot of auditions. So I moved to Hollywood. So this way at least I can, get myself in there. So these people are pretty much putting that motion into that work. They want to go and do it. They want to go and try. Whether they fail or not, they want to go and try. And this is why you will find a lot of people with Venus and Saturn relationship will always be hard at work whenever they're in a creative field. At relationship, they work hard. Because remember, Saturn is a very slow-moving planet. Saturn resists break, okay? So these people will do whatever it takes to be very committed in relationships, to work out things in relationship because now they're mature. And one thing you have to understand with this conjunction, especially if it's within 10 degrees, please wait before you get married. I don't know how many times I have seen, I just saw it 5 minutes ago when I did my marriage consultation, of a person got married at an early age, 23, got divorced by 26, and had Venus-Saturn conjunction in the Namansha chart. in the birth chart, Venus was again in the aspect of Saturn. So all of these things, once you realize what Saturn is doing, you will suddenly change your consciousness that, okay, I know I have this conjunction and I'm only 23 years old. And maybe I need to be more mature about relationships. So when you become mature about a relationship, approach relationship maturely, that's when you will see if the other person will work with you or not. Because once you hit the age of 28, your Saturn return, and 30, that's when this conjunction of Saturn says, okay, you've learned your lesson. You've gotten enough heartbreaks. Let's go and let's give you somebody who you want. So whenever these people are getting married, they always get better partnerships later in life than early in life. Now, remember with conjunctions, planet that holds the highest or lowest degree might make a difference. So let's discuss that scenario. So let's say if Saturn holds the lowest degree in this conjunction. So let's say if your Saturn is at 12 degrees, Venus is at 16 degrees, 50 degrees, 17 degrees, whatever, What happens is now Saturn is holding Venus upon itself. And what these people will do in relationships, they will hold their emotions back a lot. They will be very fearful of relationships. They may not even want to engage in relationships. And they may come out as very cold-natured people whenever they interact with other people, especially when it comes to love relationships. Because guess what? It's like me standing here, but imagine if there was this black circle around me and someone told me that this black hole goes to the deepest part of this planet and it can move anytime. Imagine the fear I will have right now standing here making this video, that I can just suddenly disappear. So now whenever they go towards relationship, very cautiously. These are the women that you will see that they will keep rejecting you. These are the women who will be very private. Only very, very select few person will be able to date her. Like, one of those girls that are like, oh my God, she's actually dating. She's in a relationship, she's dating you. It's like, whoa. Those are the women who will barely give someone a chance because there's this fear of rejection. Like they don't want to be rejected. They don't want to fall into that pit. Now, this also shows that later on in life, when Saturn releases you off his karmic, energy, is that you are far more responsible in relationships. You are willing to work 15 hours at a job just so you can provide for your family. And you'll become very serious in relationships. You'll become very serious about, okay, no, we're not going to go on vacation. We have to pay this bill. We have to put our money in the IRA. We have to put our money in the 401k. All of these things become more important. But what happens if Venus holds the lowest degree and Saturn holds the highest degree? Well, you still got to remember, Saturn is a huge planet. And Venus having Saturn holding Saturn, it's a huge responsibility again. So kind of that same scenario comes over. However, these people are able to express themselves out there. They are the ones who will go out and get hurt. They will be the ones who will go out and say, you know what? I know I am fearful. I know I am probably going to lose myself here. Screw it, let me just go out. Because now Saturn is sitting on a throne of love, throne of relationships. And Saturn is making this person be in a more committed relationship from the get-go. These are the people, like you meet your 20-year-old friend and they're like, yeah, I want to just get married. I just want to find somebody and just get married, live a quiet, normal life. So what's happening is Venus's energy saying, no, let's be in love. Let's get married. Let's do something. But because Saturn is on top, he's saying, let's find somebody who may stick with me for a long while, who will stick with me for long period to come. And this is why these people will specifically look for people who are perhaps just as disciplined as they are, just as committed as they are. When Saturn holds the lowest degree, they're just more fearful. They just don't even want to give anybody a chance. But when Venus holds the lowest degree, they're like, look, I'll give chance. So what? I'll get a heartbreak. I will learn. Perhaps I will become a poet or a writer once I, get my heartbreak. That's what happens with Venus with lower degree. because there's still that flame of love coming from the side of Saturn while Saturn is sitting on the throne. And these are the people who really will pursue, those, they will take those chances. Okay, I want to become an actor. Let's do it. Now, while Saturn holding the lowest degree, these people will become more workaholic than even Venus holding the lowest degree, if they ever go to pursue acting careers or things like that. So with Saturn, the lower and higher degree is really a very fine line, but more so, people are willing to take more risks with Venus holding the lowest degree because they have the power of love. They're like, no, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be in love, I want to try everything. With Saturn holding the lowest degrees, these people will think a lot. Should I go to Hollywood? Should I not go to Hollywood? Should I go to Hollywood? Should I not go to Hollywood? What if it doesn't work out? What if I get robbed? What if I have no money, no support? They will procrastinate a lot. But Venus will be like, let's just do it. Okay, so guys, this is my analysis of Saturn and Venus conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your Venus is placed, if you have a conjunction or all the other conjunction that they're meeting, for that, just check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, my books, reports, and consultations. Otherwise, we'll see you with our next video on intuition.